Ashwood was a town where time seemed to stand still, quaint, and quiet. It was the kind of place where everyone knew each other. Emily lived a simple life there. One day she was wandering through the town square when she noticed a new shop. It was an antique store with a dusty old sign. It had just opened, and curiosity drew her inside. The air inside was thick with the scent of aging wood and forgotten things. Emily wandered through the cluttered aisles. She ran her fingers over delicate china teacups and worn leather-bound books. In the dimly lit corner something shimmered. An ornate silver-framed mirror stood almost hidden, as if beckoning her closer. Emily stepped towards it, drawn to its intricate design. The silver was tarnished, but it still held a strange allure. She gazed into its depths, and for a moment, she saw her reflection. Then it flickered. Emily's breath caught in her throat. She blinked, expecting the strange vision to vanish. But when she looked back, it was still there. Her reflection remained, but it was different. It was her, yet not her. This reflection was gaunt, with shadows lurking beneath its eyes. A shiver ran down Emily's spine. It was like staring into the face of her own mortality. She tried to tear her gaze away, but the reflection held her captive. It beckoned, drawing her deeper into its depths, unsettling yet strangely alluring. Despite the fear that coiled in her stomach, Emily found herself returning to the antique shop the next day. She couldn't shake the image of that altered reflection from her mind. Each time she looked, it seemed to grow more pronounced. As days turned into weeks, Emily's reflection began to consume her. It wasn't just her physical appearance that changed in the mirror's glassy gaze. It was as if her very essence was being twisted, molded into something darker. She became withdrawn, isolating herself from her friends and family. Her once warm smile was replaced with a cold, distant stare. The change in Emily's demeanor did not go unnoticed. Her friends, concerned by her sudden shift, tried to reach out, but Emily pushed them away, retreating further into herself. She couldn't explain what she saw, what she felt. The fear that had once been a flicker in her heart was now a constant companion. It whispered to her from the depths of the mirror, promising a fate she couldn't escape. Desperate for answers, Emily returned to the antique shop. The elderly shopkeeper, his eyes filled with a knowing sadness, listened intently as she recounted her experience. When she finished, a heavy silence settled between them. He confirmed her fears, his voice a low murmur that seemed to echo the secrets held within the shop's walls. "The mirror, you see, it doesn't just reflect our image," he explained, his gaze distant. "It reflects our souls, our deepest fears, our darkest desires." He told her of a tale as old as the town itself. The mirror, he claimed, was cursed. It fed on the life force of those who gazed too deeply into its reflection, twisting them into a shell of their former selves. He warned her to stay away, to fight the pull of the mirror's allure. But his words were a whisper against the storm that raged within her. Driven to the brink, Emily made a decision. She couldn't live with the reflection any longer. It haunted her every waking moment, a constant reminder of the darkness that threatened to consume her. Armed with nothing but a hammer and a desperate hope, Emily returned to the antique shop one last time. Ignoring the shopkeeper's pleas, she snatched the mirror from its resting place. She took it to the edge of town, to the old bridge where childhood dreams were shared and whispered secrets were carried away by the wind. With a final, heart-wrenching scream, she hurled it against the stone. The sound of shattering glass echoed through the night. A wave of relief washed over Emily as she watched the shards scatter, her reflection disappearing into 1,000 fractured pieces. But her relief was short-lived. As the dust settled, she noticed that the largest shard remained intact, and within it, her reflection stared back. The hollow eyes, the twisted smile, it was still there, clearer than ever. Then, with a sickening crack, the shard grew warm. Her reflection reached out, its icy fingers gripping the jagged edge. The shard pulsed with an eerie light before Emily was gone, vanished without a trace. All that was left was the shattered mirror and a message scrawled on the bridge in what appeared to be dust. I am the reflection now. Some say Emily's soul is trapped within the mirror's shards, forever bound to her dark reflection. Others whisper that she became the reflection, her spirit forever tethered to the town of Ashwood. They say that if you find yourself in Ashwood at the stroke of midnight, you might catch a glimpse of Emily in your reflection. But be warned, look closer, and you might not like what stares back.